What's good, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying this beautiful Indian summer that we're having. So Shine went on the Breakfast Club. As you guys know, he's promoting his new documentary on Hulu. And he said that he was only paid $50,000 back when Diddy was a billionaire. And he said he also tried to spit in his face when Diddy tried to visit him in prison. How the tables have turned. Let's go ahead and hear from Shine, and then I'll give my commentary at the end.
So there wasn't an instant forgiveness. I got out in 2009. There wasn't an attempt at reconciliation until 2012 when I went to Paris to meet him. And that was the first attempt at forgiveness. But I was still in a place of, he owes me. He owes me his life. He owes me, he's a billionaire. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have been a billionaire. If I would have cooperated with the district attorney, he'd have went to jail, and heaven knows what would have happened to his career, right? So, that's worth at least a couple $1 million out of the billion that you're worth. And interestingly enough, one of the things that Cassie alleges in her lawsuit is that when, he would assault her, then he would, take her on shopping sprees. And so I saw that in Paris. He spent like $500,000 like in one day shopping for her. And then, after I left.
She was around back then?
That's 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay, yeah.
2012.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. That was the first attempt at reconciliation.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I got out in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took a couple of years before I said, we reach out. I was actually living in Israel at the time. And, but I felt he owed me something. And so it's like, he probably gave me like 50 racks. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Like, that's 10 years, 50 racks. Like, oh, man.
So that whole 10 years you were in jail, he didn't reach out to you at all?
He came to see me once, and I think I tried to spit in his face. Okay. In Rikers Island. So
that's probably why he didn't come back here.
I didn't want him to come back. I didn't even want him to come see me. I didn't even know he was coming to see me. They just brought me down in the lawyer's office, and
So you did an angry bit.
I really, my life was destroyed, devastated, and I was figuring out how to continue living buried alive. And I didn't want anything to do with him. And yeah, there was a lot of hurt and a lot of pain in that. But I wasn't just sitting there. I'm angry. I sat there. I got into my spirituality, got into my Judaism. I did the deal with Def Jam,
$3 million.
Couple $1 million, put out Godfather Buried Alive album I love. And, continued living every day to get out. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm glad that he is able to tell his side of the story during his promo tour. That was very disrespectful. I agree with Shine. It's unfortunate that he felt like he had to take the fall, because I'm sure if he could, do things all over again, 10 years of your life is not worth any amount of money, in my opinion, but definitely not worth 50,000, especially when that person has it and he's watching Diddy spend $500,000 on Cassie just shopping alone, right? If was a billionaire back then. But, and the fact that he tried to spit in Diddy's face when he tried to visit him in prison, I don't blame him. I'm sure that he probably wanted to do a lot worse, but now the tables have turned, because now he's promoting his documentary and Diddy is behind bars, where, in my opinion, he needs to stay. Okay. Diddy is someone who really believes, in my opinion, that he's above the law, that he can do whatever, hurt whoever. And someone like that, who has no empathy for his fellow man, who has no compassion, just abusive, and to his core, not a good human being. There's nothing, and I'm not saying that nobody's irredeemable, but that's between him and the Lord. But what I am saying is, do I feel like he's a danger to society? Absolutely. Do I feel like Diddy needs to stay behind bars for the rest of his life? Absolutely. And I'm glad that, Shine is getting money for this documentary. I'm glad that he signed that $3 million deal with Def Jam, that all that time, spending creating his music back when he was younger wasn't in vain, because now he is back in Belize. He's a politician and he's fighting for his people. And he said that's really all he wanted to do was, put Belize on the map, help his country become better known, help give voice to those who don't have the same platform and the same opportunities. And that club scene in 1999, if you guys remember the woman who said that Diddy, pow-powed her in the face that night, for whatever reason, I don't know why her story has not gotten more traction. I made a video about it myself. If you guys want to go check that out. But she has, stayed 10 toes down, saying that Diddy is the one who pulled that pow on her back then and, tried to take her out of here. And she got hit in the head. And that's serious. I don't know how he's been able to escape ramifications for so long, but Diddy is exactly where he needs to be, because there is so many people coming out with stories of just horrific accounts. I can't think of one person who has said anything positive about spending time around Sean Diddy Combs, and not one. I can't think of anybody, and that's horrible. Diddy is exactly where he needs to be, in my opinion. I'm sure that Shine feels vindicated, although I know he's, like he said, he was upset that $50,000 was essentially a slap in the face. And, if he would have worked with the district attorney, listen, if it were me, which again, I'm so grateful that, I hopefully will never put myself in that position to be anywhere near that situation for it to happen. But just say hypothetically, right? If I were in a nightclub back then in New York in my 20s, and there was a situation where somebody encouraged me to take the rap for them and take the fall for them, absolutely not. Your freedom is more important than anything. And the fact that, he was ultimately deported, like he said, his life was devastated. He wasn't able to record the music that he wanted to. 10 years is a huge chunk of your life. The average lifespan is what, 76? So, and he was young. This wasn't when he was, older. Those are his top earning years and top producing years. And, I'm sure he wanted to settle down with the family or work on his music, whatever he wanted to do. It wasn't being behind bars in a cage, while the person who should have served, who did the crime, was not. So, big shout out to Shine. I hope that he is finding peace in telling his story and telling his, getting his side out. I hope that the documentary on Hulu does very well. If I have time, I'll watch it, but I don't know if I will have the time. What's really, really good, though, that I just finished watching? This is just a side note. Cross on Amazon Prime. It is so good. It's one of the best shows I've watched in a very long time. So, it's already been renewed for season 2. I think they renewed it for season 2 before it even came out. But it's really, really good. You guys should check it out. It's supposed to be, it's about, Alex Cross, but instead of Tyler Perry, it's Aldous Hodge. I think that's how you say his name. And he is gorgeous. And the plot twist, though, like, I really like the way that the story is written. It's based off of, the book written by James Patterson, Alex Cross. But I do like the modern twist that they put on it. I love the plot twist. It's 8 episodes long. So if you guys do have time, check it out. I might do a recap on the channel of it because it's so good. But anyway, shout out to Shine. I'm glad that he's doing well. I'm glad that he is, promoting his documentary. If you guys have seen it or you're planning on watching it, let me know in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.